Thank you, and I firmly agree with the ranking member. Just bring us whatever you want, but bring it forward. They don't need talking points. They need artillery and air defenses. General Kurilla, it's good to see you. You are one of the most decorated officers we have in service now. I was looking through your service record. Panama, Desert Storm, Haiti, Kosovo, Bosnia, Iraq, Afghanistan. You were seriously wounded in Mosul in 2004 and won the Bronze Star there. Help us understand in Gaza, you know, you're engaging with your Israeli counterparts, the military strategy on Rafah and the military strategy for the next day. We struggled with this as a country. The United States struggled with counterterrorism and counterinsurgency. You were wounded in Mosul, and we were back in Mosul, taking it back from ISIS in 2017. What, in your understanding, is the military strategy for Rafah, and do you support that strategy?
Congresswoman, thank you for the question. You know, my relationship with them is military to military. I do not advise them on the actual day-to-day operations. I do talk to the Israeli Chief of Defense on a routine basis.
And what is your understanding of the plan?
So what I would tell you, what Israel's overarching plan, what they have told me in terms of just Gaza, is they're going after a lot of the leadership and destroy the strategic tunnels that are in there. Strategic tunnels as defined by those that have command and control and the ability to manufacture weapons,
right,
so that they can't use those again. And what I would tell you, when you look at the leadership that's in there, there's 5 brigades inside of Gaza: North Gaza City, Central, Khan Yunis, and Rafah. Underneath those, there are battalions. And there's also specialized battalions, much like we have a UAV units or et cetera, that they have. They're going after the leadership of those to do that. What I do know is what they've told me is they are not going to take action until they have the ability to protect the civilians and move them out of the area. I don't think they have finalized the plan for that until they do. I am not aware of their current plans to be able to do the civilian harm mitigation for Rafah. They are still.
Have you asked them?
I have asked them. They are finalizing that, and they've said they will provide that to me when they are complete with it.
And when you were serving in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, especially as battalion commanders, et cetera, what were your responsibilities around humanitarian aid? And did you give me your sort of responsibilities as a military leader around civilian harm reduction and getting humanitarian aid to those areas where you served?
So at one point, I was the commander of all of Western Mosul as a battalion commander, and we wanted to make sure we took care of the civilians that were underneath our sector of Western Mosul, while also going after the elements that we were trying to fight.
So you worked to facilitate humanitarian aid into those areas, even as you searched and effectively hunted down al-Qaeda and others?
That is accurate, Congresswoman.
Okay, and do you feel like the Israelis are doing everything in their power to maintain as low as possible civilian harm, in your military estimation?
I think they are very conscious of the civilian harm. We talk about it every time I talk to my counterpart. We talk about that. What I am trying to do, though, is help alleviate some of the human suffering there, and that's coming either through, we just did an airborne operation of aid this morning. We've approached now almost 1 million meals in the north with 8 other countries. We're also working to increase the land line of communication to bring some in. There has been some progress in the last 2 weeks. I talked to Ambassador Satterfield, who is the special representative for humanitarian efforts, and he is seeing some progress on the challenge is internal security and distribution inside of Gaza. And that is effort. There is some progress being made. We just had a conference in Rome with USAID and others on how the distribution will work when eventually we get the maritime domain as well.
What's your understanding, given, again, the United States, we struggled with this so much in Iraq and Afghanistan, the end game, the day after planning. The fact that you were injured in 2004 and we were still in Mosul and we were still dealing with Mosul in 2017 and beyond. What's your understanding of the military end game for Gaza?
I think they're still working that, ma'am.
Okay. I yield back.
Thank you.